question is, how do we reconcile the belief that we must be still, we must be at peace, with our duty to act in the name of justice? So how do we reconcile both our duty for justice and our belief of stillness?
Respected and Bhikkhu Bodhi, I would like to invite you up here.
Okay, so Venerable Panya Kara has requested me to answer that question. And I think it's a very extremely important question because in my opinion, in the situation that we are facing in this country and around the world, inner peace is certainly an essential requirement, but we also need justice. Because what we see taking place in this country right now, I have to tell you, I'm 81 years old. I grew up during the period of the 1960s, when we had the civil rights movement, 1964, 65, voting rights, civil rights. Wow, the country is opening up, losing its heritage of racism and discrimination. The anti-war movement against the war in Vietnam. We're coming to an era of peace. Then early 1970s, the feminist movement. Women's rights are coming to the front of our social consciousness. And now what are we facing? I have to say, sadly, it's almost a reign of terror, where people are being terrified. School children afraid to go to school, from fear that they're going to be grabbed off the streets and sent to a prison or a detention camp. Workers afraid to go to work. Families being torn apart. So it seems that we have to balance this inner peace with what I call a strong commitment to conscientious compassion. That is compassion inspired by a sense of conscience, a responsibility for the welfare of all our fellow citizens, all the residents of this country, and indeed a universal compassion for all human beings around this world. And do we have Aloka here? All sentient beings around the world. Yeah, so we have to combine the quest for inner peace with this conscientious commitment out of compassion to ensure justice and promote really the well-being, safety, and security of people who are in trouble and danger. But I'm just a stupid mom, so I don't really know very much.
More questions? Please raise your hand.
Hello, on behalf of the United Tribes, we have a question. What is your message for our children and our next 7 generations?
Children, for me in this world, not just the United States, but I think we lead our children to a different path already. It's because we live in this world dependent on technologies too much. way too much. Look around us in our family. A child will have an iPad, iPhone, smart tab, things like that. The more they use it, the more they'll be sidetracked because a lot of distractions around on social media, on the internet and everything. And like us, I talked about earlier, the phone is always a problem because we depend on it too much. Imagine how many phone numbers we remember back then. 15 years ago, 20 years ago, how many phone numbers we were able to memorize? The whole phone book? Probably. How about now? How many phone numbers that we actually memorize by heart? Probably 3, 4, 5 phone numbers. So what is the problem? I believe it's because we depend on technology. Back then, you have to dial the number within our head. We have to use the head. Say the number and we dial it by hand. Now, tap, tap, tap. Nikki can just put the letter N and K will show up everything and then we just dial. We loosen our memories each and every time. And that is how we train our children to go on the same path. And sadly, for me, my point of view and what I can see, our future generation will have a big problem. So in order for us to change our future generation, we have to start, become a role model for our kids from now. Stay away from the phone as much as possible. There's nothing wrong with the phone. Nothing wrong with it. Don't get me wrong. It's just that we depend on it and we use it way too much. Versus before we didn't have one, we still survived. And now probably we could not survive if we don't have one. Imagine if there's internet outage. We're gonna call the internet company and complain all day long. Technologies is going to kill us. Our brain, our mind is shrinking every day. Back then we can use our head to calculate and map. How about now? We have to use a calculator, we have to use a phone to calculate a very simple map. Just that alone, we are leading our children to a very, very wrong direction. So if we could, starting from here on, we need to train our children again, not to depend on technologies too much. Thank you.